So I haven't made like a normal long form video with my voice in a while. So that's why I decided to do this video where I torture myself for your entertainment and of course views. Spoiler alert, he gave her a 0, by the way.
Oh, hell no! Cancel culture!
Next up by Divine Faith, he gave it a 4. The game is already extremely in the years of unfortunately.
What?
The gameplay is not so good and sometimes dies immediately because of a hit. Are you playing this game on like a higher difficulty or something? Because maybe just didn't play with like any anomaly, just like walked into like an actual anomaly, just get zapped. Graphics, you can expect of course nothing, but the story is quite nice. The game has strong problems at 4K resolution.
So marked one. I saved.
Look,
And I'm not
maybe you
going to
don't know
pretend
this,
I
but
did it to win
this
favors
game came out in
upstairs.
2007.
Do some jobs for me.
I don't know if you know this, but
That's
games in
weird.
2007 were not
Besides,
expecting
keeping you
8K
busy might be a good way
20
to deal with
sextillion
your
frames per millisecond with like
I'll see what I
your
can find
18
out.
RGBX whatever the
I
hell
don't give a
setup.
shit why you want
Fonts
to find this
are
relic.
much
I-
too small in graphics. Card permanently screws at 9 degrees Celsius.
Either I blame
That
you
sounds like a
like
major skill
brother
issue,
Jim.
mate. Which is very questionable for a 16-year-old
Well,
game.
good hunting.
A lot of this dude just sounds like a massive skill issue, I'm saying. Next up by Zeta Stein, he gave it a 0. Blood Sponge, no realism or immersion. Bad story and very lacking gameplay. You'll never find a hater doing better than you, that's what I will say. Next up by Antohadans. This one by Mitava7554. He gave it a 0. I've heard great things about this game, so I decided to buy it. Boy, was I surprised when it was as bad as it is. Oh wow, we're starting off real strong this one. The weapons are so underpowered and I had to use almost all of my ammo to kill a single dog. You suck that bad? There is hardly a tutorial explaining how to play the game and the AI is a pile of garbage. You see, that is correct. But it's a good thing to have in a game like S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Also, I'm not sure how you can struggle with S.T.A.L.K.E.R. I mean, like, most of the stuff is literally just explained. The only thing you need explained is bolts and what they do. The rest you can just figure out yourself. That's what I did. I literally just skipped the tutorial and just went on my way having fun. Guess what? I didn't complain. I just knew what I was getting into. This game could be good, but the concept is wasted by its bugs, making it feel like an alpha version. Well, buddy boy, the game being buggy kinda adds to its charm, I'm a video. The game is way overrated in my opinion. It felt like a ripoff of Half-Life 2 in a Fallout 3 setting, but done very poorly.
I am.
Next up by Ouija Ball. I'm guessing this guy was a leopard and he made this. He gave it a 1. ... story ... combat ... graphics. Just horrifically boring. The game doesn't explain much to you. Maybe that's why it's called ambiguity, you 12-year-old. There is barely any storyline.
Oh god.
Your time is spent wandering around from pointless quest to pointless quest until you end up in an area where you are constantly losing health from radiation, no idea where to find a good damn radiation suit. My brother in Christ. The only place that's that fucking radioactive is the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. So, bonus one that I found. I found this on the depths of Steam. So, you know, this one's gonna be great. And it's Dying Light equals Stalker done right for once. Yeah, the fact we're comparing what by the looks of it is Shadow of Chernobyl to Dying Light. This one's gonna be great. I can't wait for the Undertale and Devil May Cry comparison video. I can't wait. The other week I started playing a game called Dying Light. Oh well, my man has like a week's worth of experience on Dying Light. Nice, we're gonna start off great. It has the exact same atmosphere slash ambience as Stalker. It pretty much is Stalker minus all the elements that make Stalker into a bad game, and plus a lot of great elements that Stalker needs but will never have. Your dad? I.e. in Dying Light, all above mechanics makes sense. I.e. if you see electricity shooting from a wire into water on the ground, then climb the nearby pole, or find the nearby portal will generate that to turn off the power switch, and thus make the electricity stop. Okay. Is he gonna complain about the electro anomalies? Contrast this with Stalker, in which electricity randomly permeates all over the ground. There is no wire nearby and there is no switch to turn it off. Oh, the introduce has magical properties of teleportation as well. As such, any reasonable players will repeatedly die through no fault of their own. Yeah, bro, just step into the goddamn Carousel anomaly expecting nothing bad to happen. So in Dying Light, you can actually see the enemies who are shooting at you, whereas in Stalker, you can't see 99% of the time. The fuck are you yapping about? In Dying Light, you press Q and you have awareness of 5,000 square kilometers. Just press Q. In Stalker, you have a minimap. Are you literally blind? Your health doesn't random drift to zero for no reason, even when nothing is shooting at you slash hitting you. Yeah, in Stalker it does. Stalker puts on a pretense of being a horror game, but is too afraid to actually embrace the horror genre, so instead Stalker walks on eggshells and tiptoes around the fact wants to be a horror game, but isn't brave enough to actually do it. The end result caused Stalker to become a pale, really bad imitation of a horror game. Sounds like a massive view problem, I must say. Most people actually think Stalker is a very effective horror game. You probably just suck at it. Maybe you're just stuck around the code all day, every day, 24/7, 365. In contrast, Dying Light fully and unashamedly embrace its nature as a horror game. Next up we have Dying Light actually tells you how to play the game by seamless and gradually integrating tutorial lessons into the game itself. Okay. Why does that matter? Why does that matter in any way? In contrast, Stalker tells you absolutely nothing about how to play the game other than a 3-minute spiel from a single NPC which presents to be tutorial, but actually tells you virtually nothing about how to play the game. You need an explanation which way is up or down in this game or something, my man. Dying Light features an intuitive and easy to understand interface, where each element of the GUI makes sense and doesn't require advanced degrees to decipher. Yeah, I have a bad feeling about what I'm gonna read next. In contrast, this is the third time you said contrast in a row, bro. In contrast, Stalker has obscure interface elements that the player would have to do extensive out-of-game research before they'd even have any reasonable chance to decipher. You need a literal explanation on Khan Academy or Khan Academy on what the hell the PDA is and which way is up or down. You need an explanation what the WASD keys on your keyboard do. Similarly, Dying Light features a map which is always easy to understand, which always has a clear markers of locations, items, characters, etc. Oh yeah, this is gonna. Oh boy. In contrast, Stalker has awful confusing map that barely gives any sense of direction and which features unclear markers and markers that randomly disappear for no reason or whatever. Oh, wait. Confusing map? Hold your courses there. Hold the hell up. Are you confused by the concept of up and down? The map in Stalker is quite literally up, down. Up or down? What is confusing about the map? I'm curious. It doesn't have fast travel. What is your problem? You can get from the cauldron to the power plant in less than 10 minutes if you're a speedrunner. To recap, I have discovered this mathematical equation to be true. Stalker equals all the terrible parts of it that suck, plus a whole lot of good parts that should be, but it doesn't have, equals Dying Light. Alright, I have a question. Why do you specifically think the map is confusing? Quite literally hard to understand the concept of up and down? Is it because NPCs have like a pop-up and they might die if like a chimera jumps on them? Or a zombie kills them, or a monolith member just decides to do some trolling? What are you trying to say? Okay, it's done. We have finally finished this thing. I think this is like easily worst things I've read.